sharper than an ice pick on you rappers' necks, and it's feeling like some vice grips. Yeah, that's light shit. Send my bro a kite quick. Times of war, we ain't forget about you. Keep your light lit. Rappers can't see. Most of them scared to witness. Go and close your eyes. There's one right here for the trenches. Bad bitches, natural hair or extensions. Hood niggas that'll probably grip like some dentures. Brothers on them fences. 23 and 1 out. Praying that that commissary hit before it run out. Riches on the gram, dog filter with their tongue out. Couldn't stay home because they found the dugout. Closed casket, burner in the low jacket. My co-captain, riding on these whole rappers. My hoes fabulous. Now I don't mean that derogatory, but I'm a player and there's no my women riding for me. I avoided Maury. I got 2 jets. If I can't make it through for them, then I'm useless. Sit down that roof, Chris, with a couple bosses. After the war, just to count our losses. It's not many. You see a smile on my face, but I'm not friendly. Going on my waist, sipping white Henny. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart grip, my bow tie. Waiting on the swab in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart grip, my bow tie. Living in the swab in my whole life. My whole life. It's so melodic. When I be dropping this ebonics, this ghetto phonics, it got me on the level supersonic. My bomb atomic, and you know where you can find me. Somewhere probably folding this paper origami. My name is pure as the Sani. My wave is like a tsunami. I went from 0 to 100, feeling like Ricky Bobby. I made a deal with the Reaper. Got a couple wives, they some keepers. Talk a lot of shit, but you can't walk a mile in my sneakers. Bitches go to Miami, come home with change features. Now she got a BBL, her ass fatter. Trying to show up all them niggas that laughed at her. Now when they see her, they only wanna fuck her. They just wanna touch her, they don't wanna cuff her. They just wanna come and kick it with her like a punter. Turned her to a runner, now it's all aboard the train. Fenty on her face, but it's not concealing the pain, it's a shame. So I'm in the hood like some rap snacks. I know niggas kill you and your mama for a scat pack. Dark tint, matte black, they do it for half that. Had you like 90s Missy in a fucking trash bag. I'm from Philly, we don't do bank accounts, just cash app. I spit a verse and I just watch the time slow. This that guy flow, this that shit that rappers die for. This that uncut Taha War straight from Pablo Escobar. I be at the bar like Moscato. They think it's effort, but no, this that block work. Make the countermeasures, take pleasures, making an op hurt. Light is in the sky, cause every verse is a concert. My mind work at speed y'all can't fathom. Listen to the words of a champion. The king, the streets need another anthem. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart grip, my bow tie. Waiting on the swab in my whole life. I just hope this shit go right. Living in the dark, you don't know light. Gotta got my heart grip, my bow tie. Living in the swab in my whole life. My whole life.
They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my taxes. Yes, you said Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacle set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never a home, only a place of captivity, safe facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe the slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angels, be ready to rap. Crack in the sky, nuclear missiles officials will make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be. Slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage is safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash. Get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
Do you see just how it feels? Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slump. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember Johanna's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit a Lord, fuck the cartel. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they making oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. Devils design fire for our babies to pass through. In the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Do you see just how it feels? Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier. Hey, hey. See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier. See, 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 I was born to be a soldier. Left, right, left. I can tell you what it feels like when them problems kicking in. I call it real life. Now I'm feeling trapped. Who can I trust? Second guessing everything. Who can I love? I remember sleeping on the floor, ready for whatever. I was sleeping by the door. I was down bad, didn't want no one to know. I was on my own, didn't have nowhere to go. Everything I seen was a test. I was born to be a soldier, nothing less. This is the life that I chose. This the life that I chose. This the life that I chose. This the life that I chose. See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier. This is the life that I chose. See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier. This is the life that I chose. See, I was born to be a soldier. See, I was born to be a soldier. Left, right, left. All black is the uniform. Soldier dead and gone, I'm forever pouring liquor for him. Try me on my brothers, and I'll be moving bodies for him. Came up out the struggle and maintained through the storm. Niggas dying for dead presidents, fucking up their residence. White man dirty tricks, they call this shit politics. Vagabonds, and they some natural born lunatics. That what they is. They shut you down when you speaking truth. It black boots when you in the truth. It black boots when you in the truth. This is the life that I chose, nigga. See, I was born to be a soldier. I was born to be a soldier. See, 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 I was born to be a soldier. Left, right, left.
Yeah, about you, Mr. Burkathum.
What's going on? How y'all feeling?
Good.
Thank Christ, man. Y'all know we're back here again Saturday night, rocking it out. You know what I mean? Holding it down on the Black Watch, commanding GEN.YAHANNA, hardest working man in Israel. Y'all know what time it is. We nearing the end of the year, which means we nearing January, which means we nearing February, which means we nearing March. Not the purple March, the real March.
Right.
Which means we nearing Raleigh, North Carolina, boy. Yeah. Passover, boy. Yeah, I mean, them Christians, they get excited for the Thanksgiving and the Christmas and all of that shit. Negro, I want to celebrate the destruction of the oppressors that we had.
That's
and
right.
Hope more destruction comes to these foods, man. You know what I mean? So usually, as we have normal rocking it out, Captain Nathan coming down there from Carolina, Jamaica, you know what I mean, all over the place. We have Captain Kapash holding down the Midwest zone, Indianapolis, Indiana, you know what I mean? And then, of course, we have Captain Napatazar coming down, holding it true from holding down in Indiana with Kapash, opening Ohio. Where else you at? I know it's Dayton, Ohio,
Cincinnati, Columbus.
Dayton, Cincinnati, Columbus. You might as well take over. God damn.
Count on God. That's the goal.
Damn right. So yeah, I mean, we have a few good ones tonight for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a whole ton of crazy nonsense from all them mass murders, mass shootings. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Houston done coming through trying to attack the LGBT. And many more. You know what I mean? I don't know if you all had any other stories that wasn't there on the list that you all wanted to drop off.
No, I think you have, you know what I mean?
Everything for this week.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, them is the big stories are going on this week for sure. Right.
It seems so. It definitely seems so. You know what I mean? Anywhere where you all wanted to start off?
I like that Kanye story.
The Kanye West one?
Yeah.
We could definitely rock with that because you see they're ready to throw the dirt on the grave now. They're halfway done buried the whole controversy. They're ready to cover it up now. You know what I mean? They're ready to fully cover up this whole thing. And it's it's wild. It's definitely a wild situation for sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Kapash, you want to go ahead and pull it?
Yeah, I'm going to it right now.
I know. I ain't have to zap just yet.
I think I got it. The Kanye West selling Balenciaga and Adidas hoodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. All right, so the story says Kanye West selling Balenciaga and Adidas hoodies for $20. It says, oh, you got a cap. It says, I do love a good controversy, and this is the ultimate. And this is the ultimate explicit. You to the big corporations, as Kanye has said he's selling Balenciaga, Adidas, and Gap hoodies for $20 in a recent video.
Is he saying that's all they're worth? What he doing? He taking all the it's damn like he pissing on the brand.
Right.
Yeah. But and then again too, he trying to show them that they really, you know what I mean, they really how to put it, like
they depended on him?
Not dependent on him so much, but to sell the brand at that amount, because I think what they're saying is one of his jackets going for like £1,000 easy. You know what I mean? Reselling for that. I think
that's the Balenciaga ones or the ones that Kanye is selling.
Man, I think his okay, but you know he was with Balenciaga already. Like he have clothing line with them,
right?
So they're saying, you know what I mean. One of them in the article, I think if you read on down, it will mention the cost for one of them.
If you're buying it from them,
yeah, from
if
them.
You're buying it that, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
and
you're buying it from them.
Now I'm selling them for like nothing.
20, to let you know what I mean. They're really making a ton of money on us. They're oppressing us, like straight up oppression. You know what I mean? There ain't no getting around that. You cannot tell me you're gonna sell a t-shirt for what? A sweater for $200, which because is a brand name.
Yeah.
No. And then you have, you know what I mean, brothers and sisters, you know what I mean, having to decide between the light bill and a Balenciaga, you know what I mean, t-shirt or a sweater. You know what I mean? It ain't no different than, you know what I mean, them Jordans. We had line around the corner for a pair of sneakers that will cost you what, $30 to make or less than that.
Too much. It might be a few dollars, maybe $3 or $4 to $5 maybe to make.
You understand? And from what I hear, they say Jordan gets either 40 or 60% of them shoes that he sell. You understand?
Yeah, that's he definitely trying to, wreck their brand down there, really, devalue their brand. And, you know what I mean? That's what he really trying to do. He really trying to devalue them.
Yeah.
Because like you saying, these things ain't no, at least Dapper Dan actually had designs and was making, styles. Like these be some plain sweaters, plain. I mean, Foreman Mills clearance sweaters. And they cut 2 holes in the chest and tell you, that's the new rugged look, $550.
Yeah. That's unbelievable.
Like that's crazy right there, boy.
Right. And if I could, he needs to go to war with them brands.
Bring it on. The capacity post a video a little bit on.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I thought maybe you did it, maybe so I can.
That's the Balenciaga did that.
Yeah.
That's the Lensies. The Lensies did that one. That's me.
Well, I'm gonna break it down real quick, and then I'll come out, leave out, and come back in. But he needs to go to war with them brands. This is what a lot of people need to do. They need to go to war with these brands and stuff like that. And like we don't have that spirit. Like we think all we gotta do is sell out, like how Kanye thought at first. We gotta get with a big corporation to make an impact or to do something. The script, that's not how we're gonna make it happen. You know what I mean? We're not gonna get with a big corporation and then that's how we're gonna make it on our own and not be slaves and not be outright slaves.
Right.
Not outright be owned. That's why the scripture says in Ecclesiastes 26:20, the people don't know the Bible tell you have to do business with your own. Bible tell you it damn near order in the scriptures to do that you have to do business with your own. Here it says Ecclesiastes 26:20, when thou hast gotten a fruitful possession through all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So thy race which thou leavest shall be magnified, having the confidence of their good descent. Like here the Bible is telling you you have to do business with your own. You know, and we think we're winning when we do business with somebody with another nation. That's when we think we really did it big. We did business with another nation. Now it's like, oh yeah, we made it. I'm doing business with the other nations now.
Right.
And that's really not the key.
Yeah, and you hit it on the head too, Kapash, because the Lord set it up in a way whereas we won't cheat each other. You understand what I'm saying? And now because Kanye West, can have his way in that arena, right? Before he turned his back on his people. You understand what I'm saying? By selling it at that price, when he knew selling it at that price is, basically is highway robbery.
Yeah.
But now, because he can't have his way, now he turned into the black community for support. You understand? Because of whatever he's trying to do, whatever gain he's trying to get from this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the Lord already set it out in stone, in the law on how to deal with each other when it comes to, you can't put usury on your people. You understand? Even the so-called Jewish man today, he goes by that. You understand? He goes and borrow 10,000 from whatever Jewish institution. That's all he had to pay back. That's what Donald Sterling said. I don't know if you remember Donald Sterling.
Yeah.
Right? He said it. He said that's how they do business. They don't charge each other usury. But when it comes to us, we behave just like these heathens.
Right.
You understand? We think just like them. Oh, well, I'm going to sell this for 200 because such and just selling it for 200.
Right.
You understand? The Jewish man said it for that amount. He set that price. When you should have come out in the earlies and said, nah, we're going to sell this for $20.
Right.
The price right here. This is how much it costs to make it, and we're going to sell this for $20. Not $200, $300. When you know how black people think, how we buy stuff.
Right.
We buy stuff when we see other stars, other, people who we look up to. We buy there, we'll support them. And they know that. And these heathens been taking advantage of us. And he basically showing them up that they've been taking advantage of us.
Right.
God, if I could, that's the thing that about this place, about America. Like I was watching something with engineering about cars, and they said the Japanese engineer their cars to try to make life easier, like easier to repair, less money on oil change, easier to maintain. They're trying to make life easier with their cars, but this place is like the exact opposite. They want the car to break down after a certain amount of time, so you have to buy another one. They don't engineer vehicles that are multi-use. They either want it to be just like this or just like this, so you have to get 3 or 4 vehicles to kind of handle the same thing. And it's the predatorization of the people. What this place likes to do, what this place does, how it gets rich.
If I could too, Kapaz, like what you're saying there, that like that's definitely like as you say, the root of this place, because like America is really built on excess. Of course we know it's built on the racism and the oppression of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And part of that is the excess that they love. America loves the excess, the overboard. That's why the cars are so big. Houses are so big, everything is big. And it comes from it doesn't come from a place of we'll make it bigger to make everything more comfortable. It really comes from a place of just, Epicureanism. Remember that from in the Apocrypha? Where give me it in the Apocrypha. I think in the Apocrypha, I'm gonna tell you exactly where Ecclesiasticus. Ecclesiasticus, 1 second. I'm gonna tell you exactly where it is. It's really called Epicureanism. No, Patterns, I don't know if you could pull that up for me real quick. Epicureanism. And I'm gonna tell you the scripture in the Apocrypha on one. Kapash, you could probably grab it.
Come on.
Right? But it really comes from, loving excess at the expense of somebody else. You know what I mean? Really just loving, going above and filling your face, filling yourself at the cost of everybody else. And that's where all these exorbitant brands come in with their prices, because at one time, these sneakers, these Jordans at one time used to be $100, $120, and that was a lot. At one time, that 120 is a lot. Now $120 for a pair of Jordans is a deal. Now you have the retro Jordans that's $250, $350. You have old school Nike Air Max that's $500, and it comes from a place of excess. You mean to tell me when those things was running in the stores as being a novelty item first coming out in the 90s, early 2000s? We're talking about over 20 years later, where technology is more advanced, the production line is more advanced, that would cut costs, that things go up. You would think that the prices go down. That's usually how it go. The old school cell phone was, hundreds and thousands of dollars. Now you could get a cell phone cheaper, because of course, as technology increases, you could make things a bit cheaper. But of course, their desire for excess is what causes these brands to now be priced at $500, $1,000, $2,500, and it's the most ugly shoes I've ever seen. Ugly sweaters, the old geriatric diabetes shoes they're selling people for $600, $700, $800. It's ridiculous, but it comes from their love of excess. You know what I mean? The paths are you gotten?
No, I'm looking for it still, sir.
No, just the definition of the word Epicureanism.
Oh, Salakia. Come
Salakia, brother. Epicureanism. Kapash, give me some Wisdom of Solomon, Salakia, chapter 2.
You me get a feel I have it right in front of me here.
Yeah, the definition?
Yeah.
I got it if you need it.
Okay.
So whoever.
Come. It says Epicureanism, an ancient school of philosophy founded in Athens by Epicurus. The school rejected determinism and advocated hedonism, pleasure as the highest good, but of a restrained kind. Mental pleasure was regarded more highly than physical.
All right. So that's really what this is. Like, pleasure is the highest good. Like that's their aim in life. That's their aim. The Epicureanists, and the reverse of that is the Stoics, which would be more, and that's where you get that Stoic word from, where it's more reserved, more conservative, more disciplined to a point. But they really love excess, and that's in the Bible too. Let me get on Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, and you can start at verse 1.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1. For the ungodly said, reasoning with themselves, but not aright. Our life is short and tedious, and the death of a man, there is no remedy.
Right? So they're really just ungodly men. That's the first and foremost of these. The Balenciaga, the Yves Saint Laurent, Calvin Klein. They're really just ungodly men at the end of the day, that really living out, full out lust and, being the best heathen they could be, meaning enjoying immense pleasures at the expense of everybody else. Go ahead.
Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave.
Right, that's how they think. Like, this is one life to live, YOLO. They don't have to worry about nothing. You know what I mean? This is Calvin Klein here. Skip me to verse 5, please.
And Salakia, Cap, I just think I saw a comment there from a brother, right? And I'm thinking, you telling me a television, a flat screen TV, is much cheaper than some of these clothes are?
Brother, I'm trying to tell you. And even that is a good example. You remember how much TVs was a few years ago when they first come out with the plasma and this and that? Then they make any curved TV that was ridiculous money. No, you could go in Costco and get that for $300.
Yeah.
As technology improves, things usually get cheaper. But these fools here, brother, they enjoy excess, beyond excess. And because we follow them so much, we partake in the excess as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? Give me verse 6 real quick. We finished there. I want to hop too long on.
Wisdom of Solomon 2:6. Come on, therefore, let us enjoy the good things that are present, and let us speedily use the creatures like as in youth.
Mm-hmm. You understand? And that's what they do. They want to just enjoy everything in excess and use things while in their youth, which is why they like to prey on a lot of these young models. A lot of these young models. There's this series on the internet. I forget the name of it, where they wear this it's like a white mask, not the Vendetta mask. It's a white mask, and it's these models that is telling people what they experience as they go through life with these so-called designers in their house. One of them say he going to use the bathroom. It's a solid gold toilet. It's just a solid gold toilet. He in there. Then the designer come and offer him, drugs. And because he didn't want to partake in the drugs and get high and stay with these designers, of course, they lock him in the room until the next morning, until they finish their orgy fest. And he had to find his way home. And a lot of these models, they don't get paid or nothing like that because, of course, the excess. Y'all know who this is. This is Gianni Versace. He was a notorious homosexual. Notorious homosexual. So these is the people who is behind these type of brands like Balenciaga and, the Versace and the Hermes and the Yves Saint Laurent and all of them. And they really, backward in life. They're really backward in life and absolutely ungodly. And there's no end to their lust. Like if Christ ain't back here, you best believe there's going to come a time where the prices you see now for them Balenciagas is going to be cheap.
Yeah.
There's going to come a time where you're going to look back and be like, damn, I remember when Balenciagas was $1,500. Now look at them. If Christ ain't back here, they'll just go into excess. And it's really the spirit of the LGBTQ. That just, never, ever being able to have enough, just abusing themselves with mankind. That's the spirit behind your gentrifiers. They come into your town and take the house worth about $110,000. By the time they repaint it and put a new roof on, it's $800,000. How are you justifying that?
Crazy.
How are you justifying that? Please explain to me what you did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The house built in 1974.
Right.
1974, and you telling me that joker about triple the amount, 500, 600,000?
At least 5 times. At least 5 times the amount, and that's really what it is. So for sure, when you see like Kanye doing what he doing, and really, let me just say this too: Kanye owe Sway an apology, man, because he doing what Sway was telling him to do in the beginning.
Right. Exactly.
I know you all remember that damn interview. When Sway tried to tell him, well, why don't you take your money? Kanye complaining that these brands don't want to let him in to become a big designer because he wants to be them once again, excess.
Right.
He after them, but when he realized you're still a nigga with a coupe, Sway is saying, well, why don't you take your money? You don't have the answers, Sway. Like Kanye owes Sway an apology.
On track. Mark Park.
So like he did
all on that summer jam.
Go ahead.
I was just saying he did give him an apology. That video is on the internet too.
he did give him an apology.
Yeah, it was like an interview on the internet. It's out there.
Wait, this was recent or from before?
This happened let's say less than a month ago.
Okay, well, good. Good, Kanye. I how to talk like them white people. Good on you, Kanye. Good on you. Good job. Because he full out, he full out spaz out on this brother on his own show. You know what I mean? Over the oppressor. Like he ain't fight for nothing else. Like he's, rolling his eyes and look at him. He losing it because he wants the excess that the oppressor has. And now he's damn near like the total opposite. Where he walking around like a little hobbit. Not a hobbit, a hobo. Looking homeless. Now he's damn near the opposite of excess, which is why he's selling these clothes for $20. Now he realized that, this lifestyle that he subscribed to, that ain't it.
If I could, Cap.
Please,
yeah, this is crazy because like he wants to be a part of this article is talking about how he's, putting his hat in a race for president. And right, he thinks that that's the kind of leadership we need from him. Like him stepping up and making stuff, that's of high quality for black people at a low price. That would be good leadership in a form. Right. I remember a brother, Stefan Marbury. I don't know if y'all know him, basketball player.
Yeah.
Right. He had this little shoe come out, and he was like, brothers is killing each other for, Jordans and all these, expensive shoes. And he came out with a shoe, right? And it was cheap and it was a good quality. And it, he tried to market it to black people. Black people didn't want it, right? Because maybe he wasn't a big enough star, who knows? But these companies, like you said earlier, they play on our slave mentality, and we want to go out and buy the most expensive, the richest thing to give us a status. But if more stars stepped up like Stephon Marbury did, after he retired from the league, and say, here, buy these, they high quality. I endorse them. This is my product. It's affordable for kids. You ain't got to kill each other over this. You can go and buy these for cheap. Like that would be something big that stars could do. You're right. There it is right there. That would be something big that stars could do that would help black people and get us out of that slave mentality. Like we got to go spend hundreds of dollars on this stuff. Like you said earlier, like it only costs, $30, $40 to make. So why are we spending, like in the article, part of the article is the Gap hoodies was $200 for a hoodie. And that's Gap. They said in the article, the Balenciaga stuff is far exceeds that cost. So, you $200 for a hoodie, really, how much does that hoodie cost, man? You go get that same hoodie from Walmart for $20, put a logo in it, boom, Balenciaga.
Or just tie a flat screen to your chest.
Like,
same price.
Like that is absolutely great. And even back to the Stephon Marbury, he wasn't the only one who did it. Shaq did it too. Even though Shaq is a damn coon, Shaq did it. He walked away from that Reebok and made his own damn shoe that was ridiculously low. And some way he disclosed how much millions of dollars he made off of it because a lot of people started buying a cheaper shoe.
Right.
The reason Marbury and them didn't get successful is because the shoe was not expensive. That's why parents weren't buying them, because the kids would get teased for wearing $25 shoes. Yeah. They'd rather spend $200-$300 on the shoes the kid gonna kick stones with, and that's why the shoes fail. And that's, once again, the white supremacy is in your brain, it's in your chest, because that makes zero sense. That makes zero sense. But when we following after the excess, you know what I mean.
That too, and too, I don't know if if the oppressor was backing Stephon like that, because really and truly we want what the oppressor have, and if the oppressor ain't going after this, we not going after that like that.
Exactly.
That the
I don't think he backed
on us.
I don't think he backed him at all. You're right about that. I think because it was down here like a
he doing what Kanye West doing right now.
Yeah, it was like a revolutionary thing.
Yeah, he did it from the jump.
Yeah,
he did it from the jump. He came up with his shoes specifically for black people.
Right.
You understand?
He was one of the brothers that couldn't be controlled by the league either. He was a brother that's kind of like, he was like a what you call it, a stepchild. And so when he saw that people was getting killed over these Jordans, he was like, here, man. And that's something that stars could do easily. Just make their own products, employ niggas, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, push it. And if all the stars get behind Ciroc, they get behind all the liquors that these Jay-Z got a liquor, Puff got a liquor, 50 Cent got a liquor. They push that hard. But like when it comes to like affordable stuff for us, stuff that we could not die over, they don't push that.
No, because they ain't making money over us. On us. You want to read some more of it?
I think if let me just play this tape here. Kapash should send me the apology with Kanye. Definitely if we could get it or something. Hold on 1 second. I really did not know he apologized to Sway. Kapash, wait, what minute he said start at?
At 1 minute. Go to just straight at 1 minute.
1 minute. All right, let me see if I get it right.
Step 2 and 1.
2013.
Or why don't you empower yourself and don't need them and do it yourself?
How, Sway?
Take a few steps back.
Listen, it's a lot for the life of me. I don't know how Sway ain't swinging her. I don't understand. Like, that's, I mean, I don't get it. I'm like, nigga, who you talking to?
I think they know Kanye West is that type of dude too, man.
Listen, if you watch the thing, Sway was really, really angry. And I think just because he's an ultimate professional, he ain't fully go there. Because there's a time he moved the mic and he said, yo, if you want to take this outside, something like that he said. But he moved the mic so cool. But goddamn, Kanye, boy, it's damn like you be asking for that ass whooping.
Yeah.
You ain't got the answers, man.
So Sway, almost 10 years ago, said, man, why don't you do it on your own? Was he right?
You know what? I will go ahead and say Sway had the answer. I know people are going to be like, no.
Kanye's change of heart comes on the heels.
Listen, to me, that ain't good enough. That's not an apology. That's just admitting he was right. You ought to go to that man, shake that man's hand, and buy him, I don't know,
Man, give him all the brands, give him all this sweater.
You had the money for it. You got to buy him a small island or something and say, brother, I'm sorry, I apologize. You was trying to set me right, and I didn't. And do that publicly because you embarrass him publicly, man.
Right. Salaki.
Please, come on, cuz. What's going on?
How about so much about them? Hey, Cap, he should put Sway has the answers on the new hoodies.
On the new hoodies, that's what he should do. Sway was right.
Sway was right.
Yeah, man. Sway was right. Yeah, I mean, all along. That's crazy, man. He full out cook out on Sway. And okay, it's damn near like it's so spiritual where you fighting so hard to be part of them. And your brother is damn near in your corner, like, nigga, you could do it. And you angry with him for having faith in you. Like Israel, we really are peculiar ass people, you know.
Okay.
Like Sway was really expressing faith in Kanye, like, nigga, well, why don't you just do it on your own? You could do it. And Kanye got angry with Sway for confidence.
Right.
Like we really lost trust. We really lost.
Cap, that's so heavy because that's the whole spirit at camp. Like that whole how he looked at him was like it took me back to my high school days where like you trying to help somebody with something, they like, what? You don't know what you're talking about. You get an A and they fail. Like, nigga, I've been here. That's like the I.S.U.P.K trying to tell these niggas on the street. Like, we trying to give you the game. You don't want to listen. You don't want to pay attention. And you looking at us like we the dumbasses when really we got the answers, man. We got the answers.
But the answer is too simple. And the answer don't have the glory that come, or the quote unquote glory that comes with the oppressor.
Right.
You understand? It doesn't have that, and it doesn't have the excess. That excess, it quenches that thirst, that carnal thirst that you have. You know what I mean? That excess that the oppressor lives, it quenches that type of thirst. You see the type of woman he went after. He went after a glorified hoe. Understand? Like that's part of the excess of the life. So now it's like damn near like he had to return back to the simple way, the easy way, the way that ain't so glitzy and glamoury, the real grassroots way, and that's what he going through now. You know what I mean?
And Salaki, if I could, Captain,
please,
and like what Captain Napatas said about, you know what I'm saying, us, knowing we know about group economics. For all those black people out there who want to talk about economics, you know what I'm saying, us building, it starts with you. It starts with us being able to empower each other by keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, being able to trust each other, not stealing from each other, all these different things. You understand? Like, it got a lot of these seminars and people that talk about buying black and building black, and they have the right platform in some cases, but they don't have the spirit. They don't have the understanding. They know what will work, but they don't know how to make it work.
Right.
You understand? They don't have the situations to understand what we need as a people, because knowing that 2 plus 2 is 4, that ain't just good enough. You got to know, you got to have the component of the racial element you need to have some cohesion to make that work.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? That's the missing part of the formula.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at these people in our community that have access to resources and all these things. This is why the general always say Joseph was a genius.
Yeah.
Joseph knew how to corner the market. He gave his brothers a industry that they can solely control the price on in Egypt.
Right.
You understand? And they grew powerful because of that. You understand? But we don't even own a toothpick factory in our own community. We don't even own the socks that we put on our feet. Something simple. You understand? But these are things that we can do, that we can be able to hire each other, and in most cases, corner the market.
Yep.
How is it the East Indians got every Dunkin' Donuts in the damn city? Or the gas station, the Arabs got the gas. Like, how is it that they able to corner a market where they got all the gas stations?
And the hotels.
And the hotels. Thank you, Captain. How is it like there has to be some national inquiry of how did they know there's something? Where did the PSA go out that all the hotels are for sale and the East Indian got the first dibs on them?
Exactly.
See, this is deeper, man. It's deeper than what they saying. It's like, I yield, Captain.
You going into some heavy, Kahan. Totally heavy. Because you're so right with that. Because for real, you don't see East Indians lining up to buy Balenciagas. You know what I mean? You don't see them lining up. You know what I mean? You don't see Chinese lining up to buy it, even though they might be getting it, but you don't see them. You know what I mean? They don't push it on their community like they push it on us. They don't. You understand?
Buying it for them is an option.
Yeah,
buying it for us is a necessity to feed that void because of the oppression.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like we have to have it.
Yeah.
If we don't have it, we less than. But for them, they could buy it and give it away and whatever, and they order it online for $1,000. They don't care about none of that shit.
Yeah.
No, and what Kahan was saying too with the like it's not just about the economics. Is absolutely true. It has to be about race because Starberry shoes was cheap. They were cheaper shoes. When I say cheap, not cheaply made. I'm not trying to disrespect the shoe. I'm saying they were more affordable. And then you remember we had LeVar Ball.
Right.
He came up with his brand, and his brand was more expensive. His shoes was retailing for $350, $450, $550.
Wow.
And still there wasn't the participation. So what exactly does black people want? They want the expensive shoe or they want a cheap shoe? Or is it they only want the shoe the oppressor gives you?
That's it.
You only want the shoe the oppressor gives you. So now we had to come to a place of racist. I'm wearing this nigga shoe no matter what it is, but I'm buying from him. And that's how the price going to come down. If everybody just leave, forget Nike and go over there. And you know, it's going to start a whole snowball revolution because the athletes is going to start doing it. And once the athletes move, the lesser heathens are going to move. Them Vietnamese and them Indonesians and all of them who be having them big, you know, wall-sized posters of, you know, one of them tennis players or basketball players. You could imagine the whole of Indonesia, you know, wearing Starberry or Big Baller brand. Nike will start putting hits out on people, man.
Yeah.
They put car bombs in your car.
Yeah, I think they did that with On1. When On1, that brand On1, there's a documentary on Netflix, I believe, on On1, on how they were coming up, and Nike went and did something, and you know what I mean, shut them down.
See,
you know what I mean, shut them all the way down. Where they had to, you know what I mean, just hear about On1 no more like that.
Right.
But that was coming up. That was coming up because there was actually giving brothers, you know what I mean, from the streets, you know what I mean, some way to, you know what I mean, to
make some money.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And then their basketball was more entertaining than, you know what I mean, way watching.
On the NBA, of course. Of course. You know what I mean? Colin, you was jumping in?
Con, I just wanted to say it, and it's heavy you brought up and one, because there's a intersection between like this capitalism is, if you look at our culture, of course you can always monetize certain things in this system, But when we able to get the jump start on our culture and be able to capitalize off of it for our own self, it don't cost as much, and we don't lose our self-esteem in the process. But when you allow those people to capitalize off our culture, now it becomes more expensive, in a way.
Your mic went out. Repeat that last point again, there, Khan. I don't know if it's me.
What you said was so heavy.
You going on?
Khan, I think your mic going in and out.
Mm-hmm. If I could say one thing too, to get back in.
Khan, if you're hearing, jump out and then jump back in, because your mic started to get jumbled up. It might be your internet. It might be your internet connection and get real jumbled. Go ahead, Kaprash.
Yeah, if I could say something. Officer Trop used to say this all the time when we would be out and about and battling people and this and that. He would say how people would say it's all about money. What's really, it's not about white. It's not about black. It's all about money. It's all about the green. And he would tell the oppressor don't care about money. He will stop you from shopping at his store because he don't care about money. He know the real money is in his race. Mm-hmm. That's where the money is at. He hates you more than he loves money. You know what I mean? So that's one thing, we don't love each other more than we love money.
Right.
If we would love each other more than we love money, it's the thing with, like gangsters used to say, oh, it's the principle. Why you go hard on somebody for like you making millions, but somebody skirt you out of a couple thousand, you go all the way after them. And he'll tell you it ain't about the money, it's the principle. Because when you let one guy do it, even with a little bit of money, then the next guy's going to do it. Then the next guy's going to do it.
All right. You basically breaking down what's his name? Kanye West. You're breaking it down right there for them, because they're willing to lose money to prove their point with Kanye West. They're willing to go down that road. They're willing to make him an example.
Yeah. So like, can y'all hear me now? I'm sorry, my signal kind of going in and out. Salaki for cutting off. But I was just saying, I didn't know. I was just wanting to amplify what you said earlier, Captain Shaq, about that whole self-esteem and how they sell us our self-esteem. And we reaching an inflection point in America, especially with social media and us being able to see these contracts. A lot of us now are able to see these contracts, these backroom deals. We able to see it, you know what I'm saying, online. Right. And their marketing techniques. You understand? Their marketing techniques, and that's why I said there's an intersection between capitalism and culture, and our culture, or culturalism, because we are the most, like what the scriptures say, that we know our poverty. And what's that scripture? Give me a scripture in Revelation if I can, where it says ye are rich. I know thy works.
Revelation 2:9.
Come, if I can get that scripture, because that's so true, man. Like, we culturally rich, and what we do, our culture, it's a never ending regeneration and generation process where we always come out on top. We always have the best music, the best food. I mean, like George Washington Carver took a peanut and made thousands of products off a peanut.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we got so much that we have, but they able to capitalize off of it and sell it to us. If I can get that scripture, Bob Shaw.
I got it, Cap. This is Revelations chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich.
You see that, man? The Lord said he know all that. You know what I'm saying? Our tribulation, our works, our poverty. Like, it's ironic that he say poverty and then say rich in the same sentence. We physically poor, but we spiritually rich. We culturally rich. So he letting us know. And listen, and that's the thing that the other nations, they cipher off of us. off our culture, and they capitalize and everything that go on. So Kanye West, man, I mean, like once again, we said this a long time ago when he changed his name. Let your yay be yay. Your nay be nay.
That's it.
Don't call me Kanye. I mean,
the rest of, they gotta understand it.
Salaki, he going out again, or is it the whole thing freeze?
No, I think he went out. He went out again. Yeah.
My computer been giving some issues tonight too, slowing up and all kind of thing. I hope it's not that.
No, I think it's what you say in the beginning, which is connection.
The connection, yeah. I think my own is given that type of issue as well.
Yeah.
Hold up. See, we get it back. All right. So, what else we want to get into? What else you want to try and move in?
I got that other story you sent. If you want it, Cap.
I think we could skip that. That's the one with Shaq, right?
Yeah, come on.
You could read that a little bit. That's the paragraph where where he say why he switched off of it.
Come on. This is an article. It says Shaq reveals why he rejected a $40 million sneaker deal with Reebok and went on to sell over 400 million pairs of Walmart shoes. Right. It says I'm skipping down. Salaki?
I think it's like the second paragraph.
Yeah, come on. It says that day I cut ties with Reebok. He said foregoing a $40 million deal he had with the brand following a moment of clarity. I said, keep the money. This ain't right. I'll still wear the shoes I do. I'll still wear the shoes I do during the season, but I will be looking to do my own thing, he said. So I started the Shaq brand. I went to my favorite store, Walmart, and we did a deal. Says I was in all stores and my price point for the shoes was $29 to $19. And since then we sold over 400 million pairs.
Right. So goddamn, 400 million pairs by 20. We talking about what, 8 billion? That's about that. About $8 billion since whatever year he leave Reebok.
Yeah.
And that's $8 billion that would have gone to Reebok alone. You know what I mean? Now he still had to go split it with the oppressor. You know what I mean? But shit. And the shoes look just like the damn Jordan shoe with the damn snakeskin trim, everything.
Yeah.
And he was, selling ridiculous amounts of that. So it's not that it ain't possible. It's just like Kahan and Kapash was saying, you had to be able to love your people enough.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be able to love your people more than the bread. You know what I mean? So also tonight we definitely have for you for everybody in the chat, we have a number. Lord of Law, we have a number to call in 240-201-8601. 240-201-8601. You'll be able to call in, say your questions. If you have a comment, you might be able to leave your comment too. We're definitely going to start taking calls the next 5 minutes, 10, 15, last 45 minutes if anybody want to call in and comment on any of the topics we doing for sure. Now, of course, if you're going to call in and try to be an idiot, Cirque du Soleil is somewhere else. Place for that. But for sure, you feel free to call in, man, and, leave, say your question or your comment, or you just want to call in and say shalom. It's definitely there. Once again, call in number 240-201-8601. That's the calling number. All right.
And if I could say one more thing on the topic, with the shoes that Shaq sold, I didn't know he sold that much because they tried to make it seem like his shoe wasn't popular or it wasn't popping, because he sold it so cheap or inexpensive. Because it was so inexpensive that they made it seem like it didn't make a big number of sales like that. But that's a good thing that it made so many sales, and that's a lesson. That's a lesson we can learn from. Commander GEN.YAHANNA used to talk about the Volkswagen, that when Germany was in a recession, it wanted every German to have a car, to be able to buy a car.
Right.
So they went and designed an inexpensive car that was reliable that every German could have.
Right.
Even a farmer, hardly little money. So every German could at least have a car, even to the poorest one. And he said, that was a big thing, and he wanted to go see that original Volkswagen to, see that spirit that they had, and that's that spirit that we need to have in taking care of our people, because we see we're at the bottom of this kingdom. We're at the bottom of this society. We're at the the lowest menial jobs, lowest positions. We got to work the hardest to move up. All of that, we're getting paid less even for doing the same job that other counterparts are doing. This is the spirit we need to have, the spirit they had on that Volkswagen. We need to have that spirit in our industries for our people when it comes to housing, even when it comes to vehicles, cell phones, clothes, anything that we put our business in. That's the level we at as a people right now. You know what I'm saying? We building ourselves back up. We like in a recession as a people. Anybody of our people that's going into industry should start at this level. Not, trying to make the Balenciaga or trying to make the $10,000 t-shirt. We need to start on this level where we can have we designed a car that every black person could afford.
Right.
We designed a computer that every black child can have a computer in his house. Even to the poorest of us, a cell phone that the poorest of us get, have, that's ours. In many other housing that any of our people have, where obviously we're not dependent on the other nations. Like that's where we got to go with it. We got to have that mindset of like we're taking care of ours.
That's right.
And that's the mindset we don't have on hardly any level outside the ISUPK. We don't have that level where it's like we got to take care of ours. We got to take care of our people. When we get that, we're gonna make power. We're gonna do something powerful. Like in Shaq will let ask Shaq. He said, "I want to make my shoe cheaper so all my people can afford it, and not killing each other over it." And look what he did. He sold 400 million pairs.
Yeah,
so
he made $8 billion. At least, because he's selling them ranging from 19 to 29. I just did the math on 400 million pairs at $20 a pop is $8 billion. That's $8 billion, selling a shoe at what? 1/5 or 1/6 of the price of a regular, basketball shoe.
Mm-hmm.
That's something we could definitely do with, having a certain amount of national pride. That's really what we do. National pride amongst ourselves, you know what I mean? So like in the process, you was gonna say something?
Yeah, if I could, I know we probably riding this, but I just wanted to say like it's not far-fetched to have stars push it, because Cardi B had came out and said something. She said she get a lot of free stuff because Balenciaga wants her to wear that stuff, because when she wears it, like all the young black girls and dudes, they're gonna be racing to, like that stuff is sent to stars. They don't pay for hardly none of that stuff. A lot of times they receive it for free. Why? So they can wear it, so they can endorse it, so slaves can want it. And that's what's terrible about these organizations, these businesses. They push it. And again, like we said it, we all said it earlier. If the stars, if your rappers and your entertainers would have that same energy toward a black product, which they do at sometimes, like buy my Ciroc. They two-fisting it, buy my, whatever it is. Like they could really change the whole trajectory of how black people think about buying and selling. But of course, that ain't their job, but it would be a big help if they did it.
You're right. You're right, Doc. It's just not everybody is willing to, go through that part of it. A big part of national pride is the growth phase. Like you talk to any business owner, they have that graph for the life cycle of a business.
Mm-hmm.
And the first few months, the graph is below the zero.
Yeah, that loss.
Yeah, until you come and you break even, and then you start making profit. That from inception to breaking even, with national pride coming from a people who's been oppressed like we have been and been robbed like we have been, is something that is damn near in our spirit. We feel like it's time served. Like we just had to start making profit because of what we went through. But we don't really want to go through that phase. That part is, it's hard to get Black people to consciously want to go through that phase and see that it is, you know, something on the other end. Like we would more, as a nation, as a people, we would more subscribe to something where we could benefit from, which in this situation, building a nation is something you may not, you know, you may not directly benefit from. Like George Washington and them going and fight and eating horses was not thinking about a day with, you know, airplanes in the sky and stealth bombers, but they knew they had to do it for the future. You know what I mean?
Salakia.
Go ahead.
And Captain Shock, what you said, and once again, yeah, I can amplify what you're saying. It's so right. Because when you look at, and I'm gonna tell you something, I'm gonna throw this out there for a lot of these athletes. Captain Potters, I said something that was heavy. The Lord didn't open up a window for these college athletes with the NIL deal. For those who don't know what these NIL deals is, the name, image, and likeness, which is spiritual. A lot of these athletes, especially these HBCUs now, that's coming in, these star athletes, you have an option now to sign deals with companies, local and national, on what you want to represent. That also goes into clothing. That also goes into shoe deals and everything, coffee, everything. You can decide what company you want to go with if they offer you a deal.
Yeah.
And the terms of that deal. You got there you go right there. You got athletes that's coming out of high school. They got NIL deals like $500,000, some of them, just because of the star power. Now, the truth is, what are you going to do with that? This is what Captain Shock was saying about national interest. These young boys, they need some guidance on how you control your name, image, and likeness. And that is tied to your national pride. The Lord is opening the window if you would just get spiritual consultation from the ISUPK, because we know we got the blueprint. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah.
I yield.
Yep, we absolutely do. Absolutely. Because like Gahan, what you saying is so right. Like they able to give them this contract and this rights to their own image. Like imagine this oppressor had to give you permission to use your face, like imagine that, to use your face, to use, you know, how your body look. He didn't do suicides in the gym. He didn't do, you know, squats and lunges to get that frame, but he had to give you permission to use it to make money. You best believe before this NIL deal came, they done set up the framework, the economic framework to come and filter all that money right back into the banks. Into the, you know, into their coffers. You know what I mean? So what you're saying about getting the guidance on how to spend it, like that's really what we need. And that national pride of this year is for my people. Yeah, that's, you know.
And who we had to thank for that? Martin Luther King took that away from Black people, man.
All the way.
Took that away. That whole pride. Now you have to go join hand in hand with your slave master. No, ain't nothing right if your slave master co-sign it. If your slave master co-sign it, you're going to see hell trying to, you know, have your own business.
And if I could just amplify what Captain Nathak said, they can't. If we were separate, they couldn't cancel you, quote unquote.
Yeah, right.
How could they cancel you when you live in a world of your own? When you control your image, when you control and this is spiritual, because the image is important in the Bible. The Lord said to break down their images. What would that do to your image? It would empower yours.
Right.
You understand? Back then it was an altar. Now it's social media. Now it's your character. You understand? That image is so heavy. What Captain Nathak was saying, man, we lost that. Right. We lost that when we gave that away just to sit on someone else's toilet. Feel that for a minute.
Yeah.
To drink out of someone else's water fountain, and now all the water is polluted. In a dilapidated city.
Yeah.
When you could have had your own we were supposed to be filtered away from this excess of evil, as Captain Shock laid it out. But because of this, we are in a full spectrum assault, dealing with trying to get the minds of our youth. And we in the hellfire fight on TikTok, Clubhouse, everything, because there's so much pulling at these youth. and they really have a lot of more power and influence now that we have to harness for us to be a nation again, man. So like I yield.
And so like it's almost like if the everything turned around, meaning with the story of Esau selling his birthright. It's almost like we want to sell our birthright. It's almost like Martin Luther King sell our birthright to these, to these Caucasian, to the oppressor. So now everything, you look to them for everything. Like you can't, you can't have a heaven without them. Like have a heaven without them is almost like, what's going on? What's happening? You can see a heaven without the so-called Chinese, without the African.
Listen, we could see a heaven without a next black man act. Like that's how bad it is.
You understand?
If you get a call, hey, we having heaven over here. You want to come? You're gonna be like, who all over there? You want to know if it's more like you in there?
Hey, you gonna ask for a VIP section? I want to be separate from the rest of these niggas. Give me the VIP section in heaven. I yell, Salaki.
It's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, I mean. And if I could say one last thing on it, I know we're about to move on, but see, another thing we got to get away from is these type of like what Captain Khan was touching on, these national and these international brands. Like that really wasn't our culture to all have the same thing. Like we all had in our way, our people. It's always like a season, like a regional flavor. There's always been like a regional flavor with our people. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have like one major shoe that we all would get or one major thing we would all get. We had our own flavors and stuff like that. And we missing our flavor. Like we losing our salt.
Yeah.
That's what the Lord was telling us. Like we're the salt of the earth, but how's the food gonna be good without the salt? And so we're like trying to lose that salt to get these brands, to get these deals, and sign a deal. We losing our salt. You know what I mean? We're losing our uniqueness about ourselves. Yeah. And that's like I said, like the scripture say, he said, what good is a man gain the world, he loses his soul? Or sell the souls of your people.
You're right. You're right. Let's get a couple more stories before.
I would like to get that Twitter. I would like Elon Musk that Twitter story.
You're gonna try the Twitter? Yeah, definitely we could rock with the Twitter. What else we have? Let me just glance the list again. We got the Twitter.
The Colorado shooter.
The Colorado. And I want to definitely touch on the LGBT with
Putin.
With Putin. We could probably put that together with the shooting. Yeah, so yeah, they just definitely touch on the Twitter and that indigenous people to Governor Youngkin in Virginia, brother. That's it's heartbreaking, boy. That's a heartbreaking one.
Number 12, you want Captain Shaq?
Say again.
Number 12.
Yeah, that's number 12. Kapas, let me just hit that number 12 and we come right back to Elon Musk, all right? Because Elon going into Twitter and treating that like the boys club, like he have a tree house and he kicking people out. He doing what the hell he wants and making fun of everybody. Yeah, I mean that's a wild man right there. Yeah, let me get number 12. The party side, if you could.
I don't know if that link gonna work. Look like it's kicking me out.
Oh snap! You know what? We might have to leave that one alone. Yeah, we might have to leave that one. If I could find it on some other channel, I believe that one is an NBC link as well, which is a problem with them devils.
Let's see. It might be staying up for a minute.
Read it.
It says Elon Musk mocks stay woke shirts at Twitter.
Not the Elon Musk one. The one with the indigenous people giving the game. Number 14, Salakia.
Okay, come on. I got it. It says indigenous tribes present wild game gifts to Governor Youngkin in annual tax tribute. All right. It says Richmond, Virginia. Dozens gathered at the governor's mansion to celebrate the centuries-long relationship between the Commonwealth and the Mattaponi and Pamunkey Indian tribes. The annual tax tribute ceremony dates back to 1677 when an arrangement was signed allowing Native Americans to give fresh game to the colonial government as an alternative to paying taxes. Damn.
No, you feel that. So every year, brother, every year they had to come with, fresh game, freshly caught. I wish y'all could see the video, brother. The video tells it all. But these bastards at NBC, they own the name, image, and likeness to every goddamn thing. Like they bring fresh deer, fresh, as taxes. Now this is Thanksgiving, weekend, so-called Thanksgiving weekend, which the oppressor honors how, he murdered for this land and shed blood and gave thanks for it. Meanwhile, the people of the land, the tribes that still exist today, this one here in the black suit, you see the feather in his head. So he's from the tribe. And then there's the other one who is blocked out in the back in the brown jacket. There's one who's blocked out right here and then him. Like, they have to bring this to Governor Youngkin and present it to him. Now, this is what we're talking about national pride. Whoever wrote this into law and an agreement was thinking about the future generations, that the future Native people generations, their children would pay tribute to his generations. Like, that's the level we really had to be on. Like, imagine that somebody had to go hunt. Like you don't think Walking Dead was just a goddamn movie? They had to go find food for Negan. That's what the hell this is. They had to come and pay tribute and pay taxes. There, you now get the reference. Like, that's what they had to go do. Like, think about it. For them to come and catch this, that's why it says fresh game. Not something from, the storage like a freezer. You had to go and kill that a day before the morning of and bring that to him, man.
And Salakia.
Go ahead.
And Salakia, I hate to cut you off too, but it recalling what Kapash was saying earlier on when it comes to certain things he cherished more than money. And seeing you in that state is worth more than money. You understand?
Absolutely.
Seeing you in that, in that state of, of humility towards him, worth more than money to him. You know what I mean? Whereas you know how to pay tax, but what you doing worth more than paying tax. Because now he's going to have a whole tribe, you understand, under him.
Brother, it's ridiculous. They say it's a 344-year-old tradition.
That's crazy.
It's absolutely ridiculous, brother. Go ahead.
Salaki, and talk about legitimizing genocide. Like, now, if now see, they say we wrong if we tell the chief to cut the head of the deer and leave it at the steps of the city hall, saying it is over with. You know what I'm saying? Forget about fresh game. Like this right here. Once again, these traditions, these things right here is legitimizing genocide of our brothers and sisters, man. And like to keep doing it once again, that going back to the culture, they made this part of our culture. So these children, and look at those children. And that town has been seeing this for years.
Yep. And them children in the back there, Kahan, gonna grow up and receive tribute from the native children.
Exactly. I mean, this is like another form of Groundhog Day. I mean, what the hell you got here? I mean, and then then they want to get mad with critical race theory. So you can imagine what the school books say, and you can imagine how beat down those indigenous brothers feel, man. Meaning that this deal was supposed to be for my family, and they starving on the reservations now. Let's not forget that. Let's not lose sight of that. That they starving on these reservations right now, and they got to give the best. And hold up, when you say fresh game, that's saying the best to us. And remember what the Lord required. The Lord required the best from us. That's why He said, "A lamb without blemish." In essence, we are making sacrifice to their God by doing it.
Yeah,
you understand? I mean, this is outrageous, man. This is outrageous. They should bring the head and you eat the head that is cut off and throw it at leave it at the steps of the town hall. Tell them we ain't doing it no more. You understand? Then they'll be saying that it's like a declaration of war all over again. I yield.
Brother. Listen, I'm looking for some more clips from the video. The video is more disturbing, and I just can't play it because they're gonna flag the whole tape. Brother, in the video, they have a line of sisters, maybe about 20 of them, doing a dance. And the ears on the ground right there, coming and dancing. And I'm like, I don't know if people really understand what this means.
Right.
Like it's more women there than men, so you know they're already broken the God. They done broken the strong man. For the couple brothers who bring it in the day, and then the rest of the women come and they dance now. So it's like this is the deal to keep the peace. You bring me food at a appointed time, and then let's see choose the best of your women and let them come dance over here. And I wouldn't slaughter any more of you.
Right. This it's like a cap.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, man, stuff like that is not uncommon with our people right now, and it just goes to show that the warrior spirit is all the way gone out of a lot of our people. Like that spirit to even understand something that's an offense is gone out of our people. Like we don't even understand that is something that should be offensive to us. At least those chiefs don't. And there's a lot of things that the heathen do to us that any other nation would see it and take it as an offense and say, this is against our pride. This is against our this is below us. This is beneath us. But it's just something in some of our people that we don't acknowledge that. We don't have that. And we got to put that back in us. Or at least the main people would need to be back in, which is the Israelite school UPK, the priests of the Lord. It's in us. So, some of our people may not see it, but we see it. We see every offense. We see every slick gesture, every microaggression. We see every damn thing. Yeah. And we want to teach our people to see it too. Because our people are so sleep. It's so sleep.
Right.
And you know what's so crazy too? That's like them Germans paying tribute on the day the so-called Jewish man celebrate Holocaust.
Yeah.
Like this bringing money and a ton of gifts for the so-called Jewish man when they celebrate the Holocaust. You know what I mean? Right. But with us, it's okay to have a nation of Tontos. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like a whole nation just willing to be co-stars. You understand? That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, Locke, if I could.
Please,
And whatever chief that's over that or spiritual advisor that's over that tribe, they need to be removed from their seat. You know what I'm saying? And I mean that in a most respectful way. You know what I'm saying? They should be whatever process they got to how they need to be removed. But we all know that they getting backroom deals from a governor or mayor and some in that town to dress up in Indian in their cultural wares and bring this just like it was back then with a stick with the deal. You know what I'm saying? Like they bringing it to a damn camp.
Yeah.
And they bringing it to the and this right here, man. I'm gonna tell you something. Like Captain Althak said, you got a nation. You got a lot of these Uncle Tomahawks that's running around here proclaiming, to be a native Indian, and there are a lot of $5 Indians in there too. You got a lot of them in there that's perpetrating too. You think we don't know who you are? There's a lot of you in there perpetrating. You don't even have the right bloodline up in there, but you up in there really working for the oppressor.
Right.
Because you are the oppressor.
Yeah.
But this right here, man, it make me think about that scripture in Psalms 58:6. Isaiah 51:23. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Where it say, say to our soul, bow down, that we may go over.
That's it.
And like this, you giving the best of what you got to another nation. Here it is, front and center. And you imagine any conflict that go on with those kids in school with an indigenous child, they gonna bring this up. That you got to bring this to us every Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Thanks taking. Really, what it really is.
And listen, it's you know how you break it down there with the you know the native people where like that's damn near onto their I don't want to say royal, but this is like their official way. This is like a priest garment, or how the white man put on a suit and a tie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this is a truly humbling tradition, and you best believe they're doing backdoor deals. And one of these pictures there's an article saying the same reservation is now preparing for the casino grant that they just received. So
Good
of
night.
course,
See
you don't have it. But remember, these leaders who they now, you know, they didn't make the deal. This deal was done 340 something years ago, and who knows the conditions this oppressor put on them people then to do this.
Yeah.
Who knows what the hell the traditions he put on as one generation passed, the younger generation is gonna come up weaker, just like with the Maccabees.
Right.
They're gonna come up weaker. Like this thing here, you know, replacing their leaders, that ain't gonna help. This thing here, the oppressor had to go.
Yeah.
The oppressor, he had to just go for sure. You know what I mean? Go ahead, please.
And that's so heavy, Captain, which is why we always go to the law where the Lord said, don't make no covenant with them.
Yep.
Because they gonna stress the generational. Once again, the scriptures say they believe their house is never gonna have an end. So those covenants you make with them, they want it to be from everlasting to everlasting.
Yeah.
They never gonna say, well, hold up, man. Let's, we culturally move past this. Let's not degrade these people anymore. Let's not do this, because we know what happened in the history book. And I would love to see what they say about Thanksgiving in that time.
Yeah.
I listen, Kahan, like what you saying?
I would love
like,
to go there. I mean, it's educational, Salaki.
No, listen, not to cut you off, but what you saying that's so right. After 300 years, you would say, you know what? Let me bring the deer to your house.
Yeah.
Water.
Let me bring the deer to your house, man. Let me,
Come on, man.
Yeah, you know, if the oppressor really talking about Thanksgiving is not about the murder of people that's really given, let me bring the deer to you now. Let me serve you now.
Come on, man.
Salaki, Cap.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Cap. Salaki.
Salaki. I just wanted to back up something that Captain Kahan said earlier. It's so crazy because no oppressor should ever look at the condition of these people in this tradition and say there's no oppression going on, because this is an absolute horror. This reminds me of The Village, how they had to throw the damn dead meat out there so the creature wouldn't come in and kill them. This is a horror show. This right here is so demoralizing, and people look at it as like some great tradition. No oppressor should ever ask the question, are we still under oppression? Do we oppress the Native Americans? Are we treating them unfairly? Because this right here is something that you would never require from any other nation other than the children of the Lord. And it's disgusting and horrible.
All right.
The best way to describe it is like having like a rape victim bringing something to the rapist. You understand? And offering up something to the rapist for for how much years or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy. You know what I mean? The more and more you think about it, it's like, you know what I mean? Like it's angering, basically.
It's brother. I tell you, you'll see the video. I'm gonna put the link. You'll have the link in the stories anyway. Y'all could watch the video on your own time. But brother, to see the whole thing and see their faces, and then the woman coming up and doing the little dance. The thing is, it's really, and as the partners are saying now, how in the hell are you gonna tell me that this was in the past? And then say, well, that was in the past. Was you there? Huh? Was you there? Exactly. Nigga, it's going on today.
So
like that's crazy. Like imagine, brother, now you had to wake your sons up to go and hunt. And what you hunt is not yours. Ain't that Deuteronomy 28? Oh my gosh, Shaq.
So like, can I say one thing, Captain?
Please,
man. For those who listening, for those friend and foe of the I.S.U.P.K, what you just described earlier when you said, well, why don't this year we bring the deer to them? What you just described was the balance of humanity. that they don't have. Like this, for those who want to try to say that the Lord said He requires a just balance. The balance would be that we're gonna bring something to you, but this is a one-sided thing. Once again, history is written by the victors, and they decide how they write and edit history the way they want. And they do this, every year. And let me tell you something. And there's a lot of these towns, especially small towns, that have a lot of these old traditions, especially in the South. Some of these little backwood hick towns, they have laws on the books since Jim Crow, before Reconstruction. Even after the Civil War was lost by the Confederates, they still have laws on the books to keep their culture. And they say it's heritage, is not hate. And because you participate, it takes the sting away. It makes it more, what's the word I'm looking for? Democratic. I yield.
That's crazy.
If you'll notice, right, this is a picture from 1989 for the governor of Virginia. You see these brothers bringing the turkey to him. Now, if it's fresh game, right, I would imagine 350 years ago, when they just signed this down agreement, that game would have to be caught that morning or something. And now it's cold, so you got to be out there. I'm noticing all these pictures, none of them coming up there with no weapons. So imagine that's the agreement. You catch it, but you got to leave your weapons outside, and you got to bring it to the king's house, which is a governor. A governor is damn near like a king. They even call his wife the first lady. And you got to bring that thing up there, and on parade, and your people, and you got to go back to your people, and your people is like, you feed the oppressor, you make sure and give him something good. Like, it's what they do to us is, brother. And that's why the Lord say vengeance is mine. You can't get revenge on the oppressor. You don't know what he doing. You don't know what he doing. You don't understand what he doing. You have no knowledge of what he doing. You cannot get no vengeance. You can't bring justice.
Right.
You don't charge him with shoplifting when this nigga is a mass genocidal maniac.
Yeah.
You don't know. The Lord say vengeance is mine, and this is only but one of the reasons why. Imagine, look how long this going on. I ain't never heard nothing like this.
Neither me.
Like, they had to bring this up to him.
Right.
Spend their own gas money and bloody up their trucks and put on the clothes and bring this up there and stand and smile in this devil face.
Right.
I would like, as Kahan said, I would like to know what they think about Thanksgiving forever. What they think about Geronimo, Sitting Bull, Red Cloud. What they really think about these, these great warriors before them. What they really think about them. Because Geronimo ain't doing that.
So lot.
The oppressor will faster be on that stick with Geronimo than some gain.
Right. And if I could, like, you look at the picture, and Captain Shaq was saying something that was heavy. Imagine they gotta get up early in the morning to kill this deer or this turkey. Early in the morning. Now you bring it to the governor's mansion. Now they keep in mind the governor already got the cook back there ready. He about to cook this turkey. Look, they already got in their mind. Look, we gonna get what y'all gonna bring this year. They already got in their mind, and a picture's worth 1,000 words. And which is why the Bible says oppression make a wise man mad, man. That's why the Bible said, and it said a gift destroyed the heart. Well, look at what's going on here. You had to be wise to understand oppression. If you just looked at this picture, you would think that this is not oppression. This is unity. This is unity. What you got right here. You understand? This ain't oppression. This is look at they smile. Look how happy they are. Smile, say cheese on 3, or say turkey, whatever the hell it is. This is what goes on, and the governor is gonna sit there. He got the cook, and guess who the cook is? A nigga. A nigga gonna season that turkey.
You're right.
And if I could, I got the scripture Obadiah 1 and 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, would they not have stolen till they had enough? If the great gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? Like, they taking the land, they taking the resources, they making you slaves. Then you gotta also for now to your kids gotta come bring you something also that they find also.
That's crazy, yeah.
It's like what is ever gonna be enough? Whatever else could the Native Indians ever give them? They bring them their women, gotta bring them some of their food after they took their land. It's like look at they got the whole land. They build houses on it, build buildings, college, university, they got everything. But they still want you to bring even more. Go find something more to bring. Like there's not it's not till they stole had enough.
So it's a lock. It's so heavy, Captain Kapaj. They along with that deer, they got to take your soul. This is heartbreaking. Along with that, they got to take your humanity. They got to take your masculinity. They got to take everything that made you proud. And then you got to wear your cultural garments during the process. They don't even want you. And that right there is like role play. It's like racial role play what we have in here. Okay, let's just break this down on psychological level. Now he could have told them, look, I want you to wear a shirt and tie when you come to this event. Mm-hmm. Why do you have to wear your chieftain outfit, your feathers, your moccasins? Because this is racial role play, and this is what happens not just only during this ceremony, but it happens in our school, in the education system. It happens in the workplace. But they have to have this racial role play to say, I've conquered you again today. I've conquered you again to next year. This is a psychological and it's spiritual, man. The Bible does not lie. They said to our soul, bow down that we may go over.
Right.
Meaning you comply with a lie. And so we can go into the next century or the next millennium. God forbid. I yield.
And it's almost like the so-called oppressor trying to show that, you know what I mean, they actually kept some type of agreement. When the reason why he kept the agreement is because it's profitable to him.
Yeah.
To his reputation, to his image. You understand? When if it wasn't profitable to his image or his reputation, we would not see a picture of this.
Nah.
The picture would be totally different.
Nah. This cements his white supremacy.
Yes.
It cements it because, okay, like now, of course, this 2022, this is from the Governor Youngkin's website, right? And you see the 2 days on the ground. So in the other pictures, we've seen one, now we're seeing 2. Imagine before, of course, quote unquote, the West was won and place gets civilized. I'm sure they would have to bring more deer in.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, this at this time of the year, it's after the harvest. It's right when you're budgeting or rationing, you know, to make it through the winter. And some of your catch have to go to him. You understand? Like some of what you would catch, or this deer that you might kill next month to feed your people, you know, for the month of January or whatever. This had to go to him. And knowing this oppressor, brother, he probably didn't even eat it.
Nope.
He probably throw that away, feed it to the dogs. Because this is an exercise of your submission to me. I don't know. I can't take it. So like, the shit disturbed me, brother. That's a rough story. Big up Arawadia too. You know what I mean, brother? You know, you recovering, rolling through. You're gonna be back soon too. Always hitting us with them stories. But this story here was a ridiculous one, brother.
Who knows what else is going on?
For lovers. That's what they say. Virginia is for lovers. Good night. Salaki Kapash.
I was just gonna say, and who knows what else is going on all these different reservations?
Right.
Mm-hmm. This must be probably a lot of different things going on in these reservations.
Mm-hmm.
You got all these reservation sisters coming up missing. These Native American sisters coming up missing.
Yeah.
Is that a deal too? They got to tell you, got to get their deer, then you got to give them some of your women too. You know, it's just brothers got to wake the hell up. We can't go out like this. Now there's no people.
Yes, it's bad. It's bad.
Salaki, if I could, and every time we read that scripture, we getting close to come up on a feast of dedication. That's gonna be the next high holy day, man. A feast of dedication, man. But I think about Mattathias, you know what I'm saying, when he saw that brother going up to sacrifice, you know what I'm saying, to the heathens, man.
Right.
Like, and how he couldn't control his anger. Like with Captain Bashar, like this when you have that spirit of knowing who you are and your culture and who you are, like seeing this publicly. I mean, it's one thing, a lot of this stuff is done publicly. The private is still bad, but when it's done like this, it just it puts a fire in you, man. How could it not? And best believe the Gadite brothers and sisters that see this, all Gad ain't no hoes. Let me just say it like that. It's some Gadites that ain't forgot. They still got the spirit of warfare, and they ain't riding with this. And those out there that's not riding with this, you need to link up with the UPK. You understand? Because this is where you can come in. Of course, they're gonna browbeat you in a lot of these reservations, man. Quote unquote spiritual advisors. They don't want you to be too much like an Indian.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want you to be too much like Sitting Bull or Crazy Horse and all those great revolutionaries that stood for something. They don't want that. Because that might mess up the feast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
On too, if somebody could give me Ecclesiasticus 40 and 28. You understand? This ain't no different than black people marching in the streets. You understand? This ain't no different than us, you know what I mean, when you know what I mean, one of us get killed. Or you know what I mean, something will go away. We go marching in the streets. You understand? In the form of showing them that we were begging. And this is them begging for love from the so-called oppressor. You know, and anybody got that for me? Ecclesiasticus 40 and 28.
Sir, I got it. This is Ecclesiasticus 40, verse 28. My son, lead not a beggar's life.
That's the most I right there. He's telling you, don't lead a beggar's life. That's a beggar's life you're leading. You understand? You giving gain to people that murder and kill your people. What you still begging them for?
Right.
Read on.
For better it is to die than to beg.
Better is to what?
Die than to beg.
You understand? Geronimo and Sitting Bull knew that. Red Cloud, they knew it. You understand? Because they didn't want to see their people look like this. You understand? Like a bunch of clowns. You understand? You giving gain to people that murder and kill your people. This is supposed to be the other way around. They're supposed to be asking for forgiveness. Every year on this day, they're supposed to be asking for forgiveness for what they did.
Right.
Read on.
That's crazy.
You want verse 29?
If I could too, now I'm going to make one little point here too. I don't know if you've seen any background of this picture. You see these little two of my kids right here?
Oh man.
They're dressing their children up, you know, like playing cowboys and Indians. Like those are not native children back there. They on the governor's side, standing by the governor's door. This is them dressing up like the Gadites and the Reubenites. You know, like mockery, like go into the sports game and you're putting on the same thing as the team.
Yeah.
Salaki, go ahead, brother.
That's it on 28, sir.
Read 29.
Come on. Verse 29.
29 giving you the root to doing stuff like this. It giving it to you. Come on.
The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life.
And you think Esau or the oppressor looking at them like they you know what I mean, human beings? To them, these Indians are cockroaches.
Right.
Salakia, for better, you know what I mean, for a lack of better term.
That's right.
You look just, you know what I mean, like how they look at us. You think if one of those Indians lose their life today or tomorrow, you won't hear about it on national television? No. You understand? Even the one that totally there right now, you don't know them, and you will never know them because their life means nothing to them. Read on.
For he polluted himself with other men's meat.
We pollute ourselves with other men's meat, with other men's culture. You understand? With this begging. You understand? We trying to show them that, you know what I mean, we can live in as one together.
Mhm.
When somebody is the servant, and we ain't how to tell you who the servant is.
Right.
That's
We ain't
right.
how to tell you who the master is.
That's right.
It's plain to see. You know who's the master. The master is the one that receiving whatever gain you're bringing. Servant bringing it. Read on.
But a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof.
You understand? A wise man will be what? Beware of this type, you know what I mean, of clown, you know what I mean, of I mean, whatever, however you want to call it, whatever name you want to give it. But this is horrible. You know what I mean? These
right.
Native Indians, Sitting Bull's sons and them, you all need to come out and say something, man.
Salak.
They need to come out and say something. Go ahead,
I ain't mean to cut you off now, Captain Salak, Captain.
Nah, better you do that because I might bust a blood vessel.
Hey, Cap,
save your card.
Cap, no, I thought what you just said, man, was spot on. I hope brothers and sisters caught what you said about that scripture, because that's exactly what Negroes do. Every election, matter of fact, every time it's time to vote, the Negroes, all black people always say, we want a seat, and I quote, at the table, end quote.
Right.
We want a seat at the, I've been hearing that for every election. Well, we got to get a seat at the table. Well, you just heard what Captain Now thought brought out with the scriptures. The life of him that depend on another man's table is not counted as a life.
Mm-hmm.
If you want your life to be valuable, you have to build your own table. If you sitting at another man's table, he decide not only what you eat, but when you will eat.
Yeah.
And you gonna clean up out also when he get done eating.
That's right.
You understand?
And Salakia, I'm going to cut you in. I give you back the floor right now. They'll be lucky if they get that stick that they're hanging on to eat.
That's right. That's right, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's just so right. Like, we got to understand is, we got to understand how systematic oppression works.
Right.
You understand? Like Captain I thought brought out something heavy. That old brother right here, this older guy brother, man, he probably ain't even got health care, man, carrying that stick down there. Let's just keep it real, man. He probably ain't even got health care. He probably can't even get a chipped tooth fixed. Or he can get his, if he hurt his back, he can't even get health care, man. And they don't care about that. All they care about is your willingness to bow down. And we keep asking for a seat at the table. You will never eat. You will never really be satisfied at your oppressor's table, man. Because it's your own, and your life will have value.
Listen, I want to know what's the repercussions for breaking this treaty. Like it has to be something that kept them 350 years, brother.
Yo, that is dedication, Salakia.
Brother. Listen, I'm gonna see how far in Virginia this is. I'm gonna get with Natazak and see we gotta go out there and explain to these people, like, God damn.
Hey, Cap, we could bring, look, we could bring the next sacrifice. We bring, like we say, here's a rat. Here's a rat. Here's a dead rat, and this is just freshly gained 100 rats, and we'll leave them at the governor's doorstep. Now, let's say that's breaking the treaty.
That's crazy,
man.
If I could just make one last comment,
please.
Yeah, this is, of course, this is insane, and of course, we as the Lord's chosen people, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we don't know what it feels like for another nation to bring us tribute, right? To have this kind of year after year, decade after decade, century after century. We don't understand what it means for another nation to be subservient to us. but there's a man that's willing to fight for you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to truly understand what this feels like, because right now we don't. He's giving you the blueprint, right, which is laid down in the Bible. He's showing you how to make another nation bring you tribute for 100 years, 300 years, 1,000 years. All you got to do is tune in every Saturday at 9 p.m. Commander GEN.YAHANNA of the I.S.U.P.K.
That's it, man. Commander GEN.YAHANNA, he gonna lay the whole blueprint down for this kind of thing, man. Like, that's crazy. And okay, just like what Kahan was saying, there's one part of the tribe that is, protesting this damn this tribute ceremony. You know what I mean? There's members in this same reservation area. They call the Mataponi, members of the Mataponi tribe. They're starting to come up against this whole 1677 peace treaty. And the peace treaty is that you bring me game, you bring me food. That's Negan, man. That's what Negan was doing to them damn devils not walking dead. And if they don't come with the food, now there's no more peace. So now go out there and gather for me, like, brother. All right, anyway. Let's get a couple more before we gotta roll out.
Before I flip my table here, for real.
Yeah, listen, brother, you're gonna get even more angry when you watch the whole video. When you check that whole link out, you'll see the video, and then the girls come dancing and the thing. I'm like when you go before this man for mercy and justice, he not looking at us like we deserve any kind of, like we've really less to him. His children look at us like we're less. They grow up watching your father bring them game. What do you think they're going to think when they reach 20 and 21 and 22? And your father still bringing them game? Nah. Can't do it. Can't do it. On to Elon Musk. Let's go to the Twitter man. Let's go to Mr. Twitter himself. Kapash, you ready?
Let me pull it up. I got the story of Napadas. I don't got it. Elon Musk mocks stay woke shirts at Twitter headquarters. Twitter CEO Elon Musk has decided to refocus his priorities on knocking protests against racial injustice and police brutality. On Tuesday night, Musk posted a video at Twitter's headquarters. He found a batch of Stay Woke shirts in a closet.
He find a whole lot of them, brother, in a closet tucked away at Twitter headquarters. Now this article gets more offensive. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Go ahead, please.
The conquest of Sikorsky is completed, tweeted venture capitalist David Sachs, who co-authored the book Myth, which attacked diversity efforts on college campuses and questioned whether date rape existed. Musk has.
This is some devil who, he made a joke about it, like, now you conquered, like, he made a reference to the Game of Thrones show. He said now it's you conquered this place, so now go ahead and melt everything down and make the iron chair. But he's talking about all these little sects in the Twitter that Elon Musk come there and damn near just blow up the whole thing. Go ahead.
Musk has brought Sachs on board to help run Twitter, melt them down and turn them into an iron throne. Musk appears to have posted the clip to defend himself from criticism that he has exclusively been kowtowing to the demands of right-wing users on the platform. Over the past week, Twitter has reinstated a number of previously banned accounts, nearly all of them belonging to conservative media figures and influencers. Twitter's new owner has pushed the narrative that the company was run by left-leaning individuals who were biased against conservatives on the platform.
Right, and he reinstated Trump.
Yep, and Kanye West too.
Yeah, he reinstated them, get them back to the platform. Go ahead, Slacky.
And conservatives have rebranded the term woke to mean anything progressive or on the left. A number of Twitter users, such as Ryan Mack of the New York Times, explained that the shirts weren't referencing to being leftist. The slang term woke originated as African American vernacular and simply meant an alertness to racial and social justice issues.
Right. So basically, skip down to the part where they call the name of the group who made these shirts. Basically, what they're saying is these shirts, of course, is saying stay woke. They hashtag it because the black people who worked at the Twitter headquarters was pushing this stay woke thing to categorize, systemic racism and injustice. And of course, white people, take it, stay woke, stay woke. But listen to what they call them. I think they call them the Blackbirds. That's the name of the group in the Twitter headquarters. You see that part, Kapash?
Not yet. I'm still.
It's right there after the stay woke. Okay. Where they say that the shirts, the whole idea of the shirts came from a group of black employees who worked at Twitter headquarters, and they call them the Blackbirds. Blackbirds.
The Stay Woke shirts were created in the mid-2010s by Twitter's black employees group, known as Blackbirds. In the wake of the mass Black Lives Matter protests at the time against racial injustice and police brutality. Mack pointed out that Twitter founder Jack Dorsey, who originally had texted with Musk about him acquiring the platform, even wore a Stay Woke shirt after Michael Brown was murdered in Ferguson, Missouri.
Right. So basically, they just really kind of clowning the whole thing of the staying woke and the black movement, quote unquote, blackity black movement in corporate America. That's really all he's doing here now with him and his people. They damn near clowning the thing. They call them the damn Blackbirds. And these fools was in there being called Blackbirds. Like of all the birds, blackbird, I think the blackbird is one of the most detestable birds. Don't nobody like crows. Don't nobody like none of them, black vultures. The blackbirds and all their shirts just the whole movement end up in a closet somewhere in Twitter, for no purpose. Elon Musk come in there and he's just getting rid of all of them and freeing up the thing. Listen, Elon, you're the devil. And you're part of the oppressor. But listen, devil, do what you do, because I want to open up the airwaves.
Yep. Buy YouTube and Facebook, man.
Go buy YouTube and Facebook next.
Yeah.
Open up the airwaves, man. I mean, freedom of speech must be protected, man. Must be protected.
This is proof that they basically, how to put it, filtering what is being said on YouTube and Facebook and stuff. They're filtering it, and he brought that out with this Twitter alone. That he went in there and now he reinstated everybody who basically wasn't conforming to the so-called democratic government, basically.
Not the Democrat, remember he on the other side.
Yeah, when I say the democratic government, meaning
like American way
Biden.
of life.
Like Biden and them. If you wasn't signed with Biden, you're getting kicked out of Twitter. You can't say nothing against them.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. I believe he's on the other side of them.
Who's that?
Musk.
I don't know if he's Republican, but he just fits into.
That's why he reinstated Trump.
Well,
because he hiding behind the freedom of speech.
Right.
You know what I mean? He hiding behind because he ain't coming out fully political about it, but he trying to make this like this is just about freedom of speech, and freedom of speech needs to be protected and blah 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 blah. But really, he just giving them the platform back because, like we was talking about last week, the internet is where the game is at now, even with the elections.
Yeah.
And if I could, the trajectory of this, what's going on here, is mind blowing, because Trump is trying to run again for office, and Trump used Twitter as a form to also give out orders and dog whistles and talk about certain other people in parts of government to expose or bring light to things to everybody like how Barack Obama used to say, we're going to make the government more transparent. Donald Trump made it transparent with Twitter. And then reinstating all these right-wing influencers, breaking them back from the underground. This is the same thing that happened in Germany after Hitler and the Nazis stormed the German White House. They stormed it and they failed, and then they all went to jail. Hitler went to jail for a couple years and wrote Mein Kampf. Then he got out and he was super popular. So like it's like when Trump, it's like his history repeating itself. Now when if Trump gets back in office, the Twitter's back open. All these influencers gonna get back big as hell, big as that one crazy fathead dude who used to say there is no Holocaust and he used to be yelling all the time. Alex Jones. It's gonna be 20 more Alex Joneses gonna pop up through Twitter. Right. Donald Trump is gonna release them all out of jail. Who he may release them out of jail that stormed the White House with him, and now basically the Nazi Party was able to, take over the whole country as the most powerful party. Now these right wingers, they're going to basically take over the whole country in like a secondary movement. Like how the first time they were marching in the streets with little candles,
tiki torches,
and they had a full march. They took over whole towns, beating up any black person they found. Right. It was that sort of thing was going on across the whole country where black people, you couldn't even get caught slipping. You at one of these presidential rallies, all the ones, they start beating up the black guys.
Yeah,
the black guys at the rally, trying to counter protest. The crowd started beating them down, beating them up, and that was happening on the streets too. That wasn't just happening in there. There was a black woman who got corralled by groups of devils with pickup trucks, and they were around her and like circled her, and she was getting more and more scared, and she ended up kind of slipping away and escaping. But they came out like that. They were like wolves out here. They were like packs of wolves running around, driving out. They had where the trucks with the flags
with the big flags and all that.
Where they been? It's like they've been chilling. They've been hiding out. They were kind of pushed down, but guess what? With the resurgence of this Twitter, with the resurgence of Donald Trump, they have a possibility to be bigger than ever. Because now they even will have heroes. Anybody that went to jail for that January 6th riot, he's going to be he's going to be a hero to the right wingers. That's how the Nazi Party had got Hitler. Hitler became a hero. Right. All the other ones that was with Hitler when they first did it's called the Night of Broken Glass, I think, of Germany, where they did a January 6th thing. And all of them got out and they became national heroes. And then when they went to go speak, it wasn't at bars and pubs. It was huge crowds.
Right.
And so now you can have a possibility of them. Hey, I was a January 6th. I'm famous. I went to jail for 90 days for the January 6th thing. He's going to be a Twitter influencer now with 1,000, 200,000 followers. And then he's going to put out tweets and they're going to follow him. Like the trajectory, what they can do. I'm sure I'm understating what they really going to want to do. I'm sure
they're going to have a certain amount. They're going to have a certain amount of reach, like he's saying, to get done what they need done. And this is part of what happens. But listen, when oppressors start fighting each other, there's the general always say there's a little space in between their fight where we can survive, we can live, not survive, live. As they're pushing and fighting for freedom of speech, we're gonna be out there prophesying. As they're pushing and fighting for Roe versus Wade and the abortion, we're gonna be making more babies and prophesying.
That's it.
You know what I mean? As they're pushing and fighting and tussling, the nation within a nation will be built.
That's it. And you're so right with what you're saying too, because what comes to mind with all of this is that whole laptop from hell, Hunter Biden laptop, that Trump was pushing, and he was saying that there's a laptop out there with all this, all this information on it. But the media suppressed it so much that I mean, they went away to make it look like he was just lying about it. Even the FBI was in on it. You know what I mean? To show you how, you know what I mean, how this place locked in together. You understand? And then to come now in 2000, what year it is? 2022. And now there's a whole committee put together to bring whatever was on this laptop, you know what I mean, to life. It's crazy.
Listen, I promise you, it's a bad day. That's rough right there, boy, Hunter Biden.
Damn, that's Joe Biden's son?
Yes, sir. and that's exactly what he's saying. Like, it's almost like they're using the media to try and suppress this. And within that space with them bringing out all of this, we're going to be working, as after Shaq saying, we're going to be working, and that's what's going to be, you know what I mean, coming out. Because this type of garbage that you're seeing here is what they suppress, and is showing you that they have the power to do it. The same thing they're complaining about with this whole TikTok. Now they say TikTok has a in China is like a platform for the kids and them to learn, to learn scientific stuff, is educational. The TikTok that they're giving here in America is totally different.
Yeah.
You understand? And America knows it. They know it because they study this whole media, what it does to you. You understand? And what it did to us. They use us as the guinea pig, you know what I mean, all the time. You understand? And they know what it does when you know what I mean, put these Facebook out, Twitter out, these platforms out. They know what it do. That analytical people, you know what I mean? They analyze what these so-called platform would do to people. Well, not just black people, but people on the whole. They analyze it and they know. So they know if they could control the media, they could control who? The people.
Yeah.
You understand? And that's what they've been doing.
And if I could, you remember they ran what seemed like a social experiment where they had blacks running on crates and falling off.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had us running on crates and falling out. Just came out of nowhere, popped up, and then disappeared.
But
like a social experiment of some sort.
That Dr. Bill ain't disappeared. That Dr. Bill's still there.
Oh, yeah. And they know what basically they worried about is same thing with Russia, what they claim Russia did, which is use bots to influence algorithms and influence the people to vote for Trump or to be more politicized or to believe certain things. Russia had all these bots that would put comment sections and put in the comments, oh, no, you need to do this, oh, you need that. So it's like a million Russian bots that are pushing an agenda that Russia can control. And they knew that was a problem because you weaponizing these platforms at this point. And so China can use the TikTok. They know, they're studying it, they're investigating it, how China can use the TikTok to weaponize, to vote for a certain candidate, or they're saying with the Facebook that the problem they had earlier with Facebook was they had people in certain genres and they would feed you certain news. So it seemed like only these things was happening to you. So you're seeing all these things, but the next person isn't seeing all these things. They're seeing a whole totally different set of news and propaganda and images. And so they're basically becoming separated and in different worlds.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, I'm seeing all this stuff all the time. You don't ever see it? You battling with somebody and they're like, I don't ever see that, but I see this. I see when you blacks are stealing. I see when you blacks is doing that. And then you go into somebody else. I see when the cops are shooting us. So it was you saying it was a problem, and it's going to continue to be a problem. And they better continue to study it. And while they studying that, like you said, we're gonna be studying putting the truth on that thing.
That's right.
But it's definitely a problem for them, and for the minds of the people. Like you said, the minds of the people, that's big. Germany nationalized their whole TV and radio station. All their media was nationalized. So all the German people were only seeing a certain amount of news and hearing a certain narrative. So Germany's got armies all over the world doing all type of shit, but the German people, they're seeing and hearing this. We have a victory here. We're doing it here. This is that. And they don't even really know what the hell's going on outside of Germany. But they're in their little bubble. And that's how Hitler liked it. He wanted the German people to be in a little protective bubble while they're waging war on all sides, destroying every city all over East and Western Europe. The German people, they're reading the newspaper and sitting back and like, yeah, we sent boy Johnny off to war. He'll be back and all that. So
yeah, it's definitely it's something to watch with what he doing and what that's going to set a trend for that damn internet. You know what I mean? It's definitely something to watch. I think we just get one more. We got to run through it real quick, or we don't pass the time. What's the one? I think now, you had said something.
I know. I was saying the Colorado shooter.
The Colorado shooter. We could do the two of them because of course, Colorado shooter and Russia. Russia just passed a law fining and threatening jail time for anybody who promoting LGBTQ lifestyle and celebrating it. They have this Russian reporter who just posted on Twitter how he went and he married his husband, and of course, Putin is like, no, no. So somebody pull it for me real quick, all right?
And that's almost like a reminder of that whole marriage with them Sabian wives type of stuff, where they had to put it into play where a man had to marry a woman because they were losing the numbers. You know what I mean? Putin know he need numbers to go to war, and 2 men ain't gonna make that.
Yeah,
I got the story.
Please,
Colorado Springs, Colorado. The alleged shooter facing possible hate crime charges in the fatal shooting. Shooting of 5 people at a Colorado Springs gay nightclub was ordered held without bail in an initial court appearance. Anderson Lee Aldrich, 22, could be seen slumped over in a chair with injuries visible on the suspect's face and head in a brief video appearance from jail. Aldrich appeared to need...
There's one thing, Sodom and Gomorrah could do is put a beating on you.
Yeah.
You get caught bad. You get caught down bad, boy.
It's a lie. Can I say one thing? I was trying to hold my peace, but this looked like a non-binary ass whooping that he got. I just got to go in now, Castle. I'm trying not to be in counsel. But this looks like a non-binary ass whooping that he got right here.
Yo, listen, we ain't gonna say too much on him, but boy, I can't even say Lord be with him. He got to take what you get. He a murderer. He's a mass murderer. You know what I mean?
I knew what they had to do is answer to. I don't know if you all heard the story on him. I think his father or his grandfather was in politics, and he got into some trouble before, and they worked something out with the judge where he didn't have to do time, and if he had to do time, I believe, if my mind served me right, he would not have been able to kill them people.
He would once again exercising them white supremacy.
Yep.
Exercising white supremacy, and of course his father is another nutcase. His father used to be in MMA. His father was a former MMA fighter turned porn star, and bugged out his mind. His father say when the FBI called him and tell him, his son was involved in a shooting at a gay club. He said, "What the hell is he doing at a gay club? What is he doing over there?" Then when they tell him, well, he might be the shooter, the father responds is, I thought he was gay. I was like, and then he turned around and said, "Well, you know, we don't do gay. We don't do gay." I'm like, "Well, there's people dead." This nigga is like a little cracker, like he full on fentanyl. I don't know what he on.
They say he's a meth user.
He's a meth. What number is it? Because I believe the video is in the number, but sometimes that video takes so long to load. What number was that one?
Let me see. I think it's
number 5. I found number 5. Let's play the video. Go ahead, Con.
So like we can't make this stuff up, man.
No,
like he went up in there and shot the Skittles out of the rainbow, and people get mad with us. See, that's what you got to understand with that community, man. It's always violence harboring around that community for some reason, and it always happens. And how many gay clubs gonna get shot up? Like, and it's crazy. And I want to say it was the guy that subdued him. I don't know. I believe he's a ex-military guy, but he said, and this would he said in one of them articles, he said, okay, I don't know what mode he was in that gay club, but he said I went into combat mode, so it would be safe to say that he identified as a man at that point.
Yep.
I want to use that word identify. When it came down to him saving his life, he had to identify as a man.
Yeah.
I want to just put that out there because he said it himself. He said he didn't say I was gender fluid right then. He said I went into combat mode.
Right.
I identified as a man.
He wasn't doing the gender bender. He wasn't doing the gender bender.
Right.
He was straight.
Right. If I could, would you bring out about that community and some violence that's going on? One of them just murdered a sister in Mexico.
Yep.
I know that story just came out. So what you're saying is heavy. There's murder. There's murder. We talking murder now. Multiple murders.
If I could, just before we run out of the time. Okay, now exactly what Nathak was bringing out about he was supposed to be locked up. The same thing with the other one before. What was the one they shooting before this one with the gay club? There was one before with the gay club, some other shooting that happened where it would not have happened had they followed through. I believe there's one here in Virginia recently, or 2 in Virginia, and it was 2 brothers who was the gunman. You know what I mean? And in both cases, they ignored certain situations. Now, black people, this is not black people's modus operandi. This is not what we do. But of course, following the oppressor and thinking you could walk away like Dylan Storm Roof, or like this one here, or like the one who attacked Dave Chappelle. Like these is people who is, exercising their white supremacy and is able to slip under the radar because of it, to pull the strings and not go to jail where they need to be and not be locked up where they need to be. And they harming people, man. This is a gay nightclub, of course. We don't agree with your lifestyle, but we also don't agree with murdering people.
That's right.
We also don't agree with just arming yourself and going and killing and shooting everybody. It would be the same for anywhere. You know what I mean? Like that's definitely not, the society we building. And of course, we building that society to not produce murderers, but we will defend it. We will defend it up in here. You know what I mean? It's straight, it's men up in here who will, die for what we building. So I'm gonna play a little bit of the father here, but the father is a full nutcase. Go ahead,
Now I'll wait till after you play the video, Cap. Salak.
No sweat. We're right up on the time too.
There's no excuse for going and killing people. If you're killing people, there's something wrong. It's just not the answer. I praised him for violent behavior really early. I showed him that it works. It's instant, and you'll get immediate result. Life is just so fragile, and it's valuable. Those people's lives are valuable. They're valuable. They're good people, probably. Mormons don't do gay. We don't do gay. There's no gays in the Mormon church. We don't do gay.
He tweaking. He grinding them teeth out. He grinding them teeth. He can't help himself. This devil here, And once again, the interviewing the father, just like how they interviewed Jeffrey Dahmer. So now I'm supposed to, have some kind of sympathy and be like, well, his father was no good and his father was a drug addict. You see, he had a head injury from the MMA and went into porn, so he have low morals. So that's why little bean head overweight guy went and shoot up the damn club. No, nigga. If that's the case, then you gotta have a sympathy for all of us who have loved ones in prison because we didn't have our fathers around. So how much worse can we be? Now, if our people had to serve time, he had to serve it, and he had to get immense. He done took people life, man.
Yeah.
Took people lives. You oppressors, man. Y'all can't survive without slaughtering people, even if it's your own.
Right.
And if I could say one thing, when you look at Sodom and Gomorrah, you look at the scriptures, what happened with Sodom and Gomorrah? That was a gang of the people who had that lifestyle, but they were so violent, so vile. You understand? Where they were trying to do what they did.
That's true too, Kapash. But if I could, just to redirect you, this wasn't somebody who was in the club that part of the gay community went and shoot up this whole thing. This is white supremacy right here, brother. This is what he did is what was done to Rosewood, what was done to Tulsa, Oklahoma, what was done to Slocum, Texas, what was done all over where because of their just insatiable lust to kill, they go and they kill. This is how they got the 1677 Native Indian peace treaty to come and bring game every year because they would just run up in there and kill everybody. You understand? They would just run up in there and slaughter everybody. I get what you're saying with the LGBTQ community, but these mass shooters, brother, the profile of these people are young white males. That's it. That's the profile. Young white men. You gotta look out for that.
If I could, Cap.
Please.
Like this oppressor got to understand, like his people built this empire. You gotta be able to take the good with the bad. If you want to kill niggas, then you're gonna have to deal with this LGBTQ. If you want to oppress poor people, you're gonna have to do it. You're gonna have to deal with certain things because when your kingdom is set up and it's not righteous, like the scriptures say, when the wicked rule the earth, the people mourn. Like he's in mourning now because his people are wicked. He don't want to have to deal with homosexuals. Well, that's tough. You built this city upon blood, so you got to deal with all the wickedness along with all the good that comes along with it for your people. But of course, in Christ's kingdom, we don't have to deal with that. Oh, it's gonna be all good. We ain't got to deal with the good and the bad. We just gonna deal with the good. The bad is gonna be dealt with differently, right? On the righteous level.
In Christ's kingdom, he gonna be found out before the act. He gonna be dealt with like Joshua. He gonna get the Joshua Act 1, Scene 1. Dig a hole, put everybody in. You know what I mean? So I think we right up on the time. We over the time a whole lot. I'm gonna forgo that story with Russia. Y'all can check that out anytime. Y'all know for sure every Saturday night we here, rocking and rolling, 9 o'clock. Every Saturday night, Mondays, 9 p.m. live. Commander GEN.YAHANNA gonna be on live 9 p.m. rocking it out on Black Watch with the heavy hitters rolling through. Y'all don't forget next weekend. I believe it's next weekend. Next weekend is West Coast. Yeah, next weekend West Coast. Captain Godal holding everybody down in Vegas, rocking it out. Thursday, November 8th. That's the Thursday after Vegas. Jeremiah Hyman gonna be in DC. Y'all come down, check it out. Everybody come through DC. DC School, 7 p.m. Thursday, November 8th. You're gonna be down here rocking it out. And of course, we have Hanukkah coming up. Hanukkah is what? The 27th or the 17th?
17th.
17th. The 17th of December. Feast of Hanukkah. Y'all check out your schools. Check out your camp leaders. Roll it out. And April 1st, the Lord's Passover, man. The Lord's Passover, Raleigh, North Carolina. Start, booking your train, your plane, Google Maps, MapQuest, whatever you have to do. You know what I mean? Start making your way and starting to get down there. Raleigh, North Carolina, we're going to do it big, man. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming through tonight. Everybody in the chat, the water for your help. Y'all know we got that phone line. Lord Allah, we're going to have it going forward. You know what I mean? Big up again, Captain Nathak, always coming through. You know what I mean? Holding them down. Big up to them for sure, Captain Kahan coming off through. Wasn't live from hell. You know what I mean? Holding the whole South down. Captain Kapash holding down Indianapolis, the whole Midwest there, running this group. And of course, you know, Captain Nepatazar, you know what I mean, making it through all the way to Cincinnati, Ohio, holding everything down. We're going to be back next week, Israel. You know what I mean? Y'all stay tuned. Pay your tithes, man. Pay your tithes. Pick up some extra shifts for that Passover fun. You know what I mean? We ain't got no oppressor bringing us fresh game. We got to go get it ourselves, and we will. We pay that Passover fun, man. Pay that Passover fun. Let's get it. All right. See y'all next week. Yabshin Shabrakatham.
Yeah, those are messed up, no. Bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Go on, get on that ass real quick one time. 144, baby.
They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me a whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You even low on this lawn, throw that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm to our core. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about any more. I need a Selena like my Nina Puffer bar. Took a Zach, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Tsung. Put them out of service.